Honeys, we're home.
Hello and welcome.
to
Hey,
shit!
hey.
What's happening?
What are you doing?
Wait. Does this mean there's no more Jim Henson?
Nope. No more
So-
Jim Henson.
So
No more Kevin.
No more Ben. Ben's big day. No more.
Nope.
No more Ben doing intro.
Big Ben's big day out.
Okay. Look, here's some tips and advice for doing the intro. You gotta hit the hello you gotta make it sound sexy, and then the rest of it make it sound sexy.
Hello.
No,
that?
Okay, no, just do it. Just go with your instincts.
Hello, ladies. That
Oh
one?
no, God! I'm writing to my senators. No,
yeah,
let's
right
try
to
it again.
Mayor Kane.
Mayor Kane. No, I'm not from Tennessee. Barely.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it again. Okay.
And here he goes.
Hello and welcome to Sinclarity, a dinosaur's tale. I am your host. We're gonna need another Timmy along with my co-host.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Doubtfire. I thought you were doing a Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm sorry. This has been
No,
hand up me.
that's more of a hello. That's
Oh shit, you did that better than
Doubtfire.
me. This is just like the Tim Allen grunt from season 1 of our podcast where I just completely boifed it.
Exactly.
I boifed it right in its boif.
Boy.
So yeah, I'm Ben Hand Up Me, and we're gonna need another Timmy, and we're back in our roles as father and son.
That's right. And we are back to talking about the show from the 90s, Dinosaurs.
Hell yeah, not Alf. So
Nope.
people keep thinking it's Alf. It's not Alf.
Not Alf.
It's not Dinosaur by Disney 2000. Not that one.
No. Which always comes up when you look it up on Disney Plus.
Yeah, right away. And I'm just like, come on, Disney Plus.
They want
Disney Plus does not read my mind at all. And whenever
they read my mind, because our suggestions are a couple Marvel movies and then Caravan of Courage.
Oh, nice. My thing is whenever I type in dinosaurs, or no, whenever you pull it up and go to continue watching, you can't like select the episode. It just starts with whatever it wants to start with. And like, so you have to type it in each time in the search to go to the page and then go to episodes. And it's like, I know it's been a few weeks since I've been around these parts. You know, that's probably why it's trying to play me hot and cold. But like, I'm back. I was always going to be back.
Yeah, mine always is just stuck on the next episode, so I have to go back and it wants to play the episode after.
It did that to me today, and I was too lazy to change it, so I kind of already know next week's episode. So,
well,
it's gonna ruin the whole gimmick.
Well, today we. By the way, this is episode 69 plus 2.
Oh yeah, there we go.
I'm keeping Ben's gimmick. And today we are starting the death march to the end of this show.
Right to the end of the planet.
Yeah, season 4, the final season. We're doing the first episode today of that season.
Episode 1, the Phantom Menace.
My favorite.
I have that on VHS right next to me.
I have a nice big poster of it that came from a cereal box.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Is it cereal still good?
I think someone ate the cereal.
Wow, that's fucked up. We need to find this Menace.
That's the true Menace. You have to eat the cereal and keep it mint in box. Never.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that like I mean, it's like I have Vados. It's like this Reds player, Joey Votto, had a cereal, and I have a box of those. But I did not save the cereal. I just had the box flattened. So I guess I fucked it up too.
Yeah, it's less value. You can't sell it that way.
I was gonna say that we're probably gonna get some kind of special cereal for the Bengals being in the Super Bowl, but I don't know if you're allowed to say Bengals or Super Bowl. Like, isn't it copyrighted?
By who?
I don't know, but there's this big thing on TV where they are always like the big game or whatever. They will never say Super Bowl.
Well, maybe the NFL owns it.
It was that like a Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's like an NFT. It's NFL.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
I guess since they're dead now, it's all NFTs.
That's right. Like Tony Hawk.
But
He's got NFTs.
speaking of sports, I am kind of jealous because you said you were going to Dunkin' earlier before we started.
Fuck Dunkin'.
What happened? What happened at Dunkin'?
Okay, so like a month ago or whatever, I just happened
backstory
to go there, and I realized they had a new they had a brown sugar oat milk latte, an iced one, and I was like, wow, that sounds really good. I can't believe Dunkin's back in the game, because I don't know if you know this, Ben, but they got rid of their Beyond Sauce, the Beyond Sausage sandwich that they had.
Oh, really?
Just like randomly, like I went there during Fest in the morning after I couldn't sleep all night, and I was like, oh, at least I can get like a nice hot sausage sandwich and some coffee. And the guy that was working there was just like, yeah, we don't have that anymore. I'm like, what? So I just got like a shitty hot coffee, and I was like, fuck Dunkin'. And then a couple months later, I was like, hey, they got this drink. That sounds good. And I got it like months ago, like a month ago. I was like, damn, this is really good. I got it a few more times. And then today, when I had some time before we started recording, like, oh, I'm gonna go get one. That sounds so good. Like, I'll take the dog with me, and we'll just go to the drive-through. I get to the drive-through. I always forget that Dunkin' by us sucks. Like, there's always too many people in the drive-through. And
sounds like they're good then. People are excited for it.
Well, then I pull up to the window thing, and I'm like, yeah, can I get that drink I just said? And the person's just like, yeah, we don't have that anymore, even though they have the sign that says like order today. And I was like, oh shit, all right, never mind. And then I just had to wait in the drive-through line. I couldn't back out because there was someone behind me.
Yeah, so it's like a narrow pathway.
Yeah, so I just had to pull straight through after the person in front of me was done.
Did you like set it to ghost ride the whip and moon them on your way out?
No,
you had so much time. You might as well, or moon them with Jax's butt.
But it's not their fault.
I know
I'm mad at the corporation.
You're mad at the situation, okay?
Because they betrayed me. Dunkin' fucking sucks.
I hope America gets the runs on Dunkin'. Is that what you told them?
Yeah,
is that the thing you came up with on the spot?
They fucked up. It's like how they keep taking away the nacho fries at Taco Bell.
That's what a gimmick from the start. They released it as a limited time thing. They were doing the McRib thing. It was from the start. They already told us what it was going to be. It's like, well, they know if we have it too much, if we always have it. This is what Taco Bell knows about us. We will grow to special. We won't appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate it.
No, I know for a fact that I would learn to not appreciate it. And so I'm learning to appreciate it. I haven't had Taco Bell in so long.
I still love Baja Blast. You thought we'd get sick of Baja Blast after like it's been like almost 20 years of Baja Blast or something like that.
Right? Well, that's actually important information we need to find out, because that's what our podcast is all about. So we can celebrate it.
Today on the history
20 years is not the greatest guess, apparently. Oh, you know what?
Am I right?
What's funny is okay, so this is the in-stores release. I was like, that's no fucking way.
Oh yeah, no, that was not that long ago.
So yeah, that was 2014 on May 5th. So we'll be able to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of that in 2 years and 3 months from now. But I don't see a month for this. But 2004, August 2004.
We're close.
So in 2 years and half a year, we'll be doing the 20-year. So we got to remember that for whatever podcast. What podcast did we say we're doing after this? We're going to find out the guys from Lemonparty are still alive.
Yeah, where are they?
Where are they now, Lemonparty? I tried so hard. Like, I was looking to find them and I could not. Like, I don't know if they're alive. There's no information on their vitality.
We could probably get Vice money to do that.
We can probably get
Honestly.
the cereal woman. Wait, you know what? When I started to say that, I was like, I don't want to get this confused with some mascot. Then I was like, I couldn't off the top of my head think of a cereal mascot that was a woman. Is there a glass ceiling on the cereal mascot industry? Or do we just or am I just assuming genders here?
I mean, Trix the rabbit, right? That's an animal. It's a dude, I guess.
But I
Right?
assume that it's a dude because of the silly rabbit dicks are for chicks thing that was a shirt at like Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't rabbit.
I know. But which is the part of why I knew what it was. Even all three of the scary guys, the Blueberry, the Count Chocula, and the Frankenberry, those are all dudes from the looks of it.
That's another podcast, Ben. We got to find out why none of the cereal mascots are women.
Should we call that one cereal?
Yeah, but but we should spell it right.
The closest we got really is Fruity Pebbles, and she's not even included. It's just Barney and Fred, even though it's literally named after one of their daughters.
Yeah, one of their daughters.
One of the two of them's daughter. But I mean, I don't think it's them together. There's a princess cereal. That's about it. It's Disney princesses, but that doesn't count. That's not within the pantheon.
Doesn't count.
Snap, Crackle, and Pop, all boys. Toucan Sam. Sam is a neutral name, but looks like a dude to me.
It's
Sugar
a bird.
Smacks. You got that Cookie Crisp had a couple different dudes. They had the wolf, and they had like the other guy.
Well, what about the honeycomb thing?
Jerry Seinfeld. Oh no, that's Cheerios.
Yeah, that's the
Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's the bee. The bee.
Yeah, it's Jerry Seinfeld, the Honey Nut Cheerios mascot. What do you mean?
You like jazz?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. There's Tony the Tiger. I found that somebody drew like a cereal they made up called Boobos that would have a girl mascot.
Yeah, but it doesn't count if you gotta make it up.
There's been women on Wheaties before. Not a lot of them though. Another glass ceiling we have to tackle.
Wheaties.
Yeah, exactly. Nevertheless, Sheeties persisted. Wait, that doesn't work.
Oh my god.
But no, there was like other topics that we were gonna try to throw in here, like but like we don't, because we were gonna talk about how everyone should have a bidet installed on the toilet. Tim does not. Just sorry for outing you.
Joe bidet.
We're gonna talk about how you were not gonna accompany Issa dress shopping today because you're rude. You didn't want to help. And I was going to talk about how I acclimated to New Orleans weather way too quick, threw away all my cold weather clothes and cold weather objects. And I'm back up here just like trying to trudge through the ice like a fucking dildo. I hate it.
Yeah, all those ice dildos.
Those ice dildos. That sounds like I'm talking about the immigration police. Those ice dildos. What an appropriate name for a bunch of assholes.
Oh, you got
cold-blooded pieces of shit.
You got them. That's why they're called ice, right?
Yeah, that's why they're called ice. You know what? We'll talk about how my Facebook posts belong in the Smithsonian later. We'll do that another time. No, it will be next week. We'll do a little spoiler here. Next week we'll talk about. Look, my apprentice Drill, he's been doing great. He's gonna live up to me someday. He's gonna,
Drill from Twitter.
Yeah, he's gonna be standing on the shoulder of giants. That's how he's doing so well. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, Drill
from Twitter.
I can't believe the dude from As Good as It Gets is so funny. That's all I'm saying. But speaking of As Good as It Gets, this episode does not reach that pinnacle. So apparently, what happened here? We got episode 401, Monster Under the Bed. It stars Fred Savage and Ben Savage. It's from 1989. Directed by Richard Green. Oh no, that's the movie with Howie Mandel as a monster.
Are you gonna say Richard Gere?
No, Richard Greenberg.
Gere? Is it Gere? Richard Gere?
Are you talking about Gene Gear?
Jean Jean Grey?
It's
What's
Gear.
going on?
No, Richard Gere is a Gear. I don't.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, he got old.
He's
Anyway,
full, baby. Full gear.
but I didn't. I don't want to bring this up, but the writer of Pirates of the Caribbean is the same writer as Shrek. Is the same writer as Little Monsters.
Oh my god.
But
That's
it's
real.
unimportant. It's unimportant. What we're actually talking about is the episode Monster Under the Bed, which aired June 1st, 1994, which is almost 1 year after it was taped in June 18th, 1993.
It was
And
in the bag.
yeah, it was written by Peter Rocco and Adam Barr, returning writers, and directed by a disgraced and fired from Sinclarity, Brian Henson.
Wow. Can't believe
Yeah,
that guy got work. Can't
I
believe he
mean,
got work out of this.
it seems like other than this, he's only he had some movie that didn't do well called Happy Time Murders. He had a funeral memorial service that went pretty well. He spoke at that. Um,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
killed. He did good at that. I was gonna say he killed, but it's inappropriate language for this entire topic. I
That
think.
that is very inappropriate.
But I mean, this episode, I'll say I thought it was funny because I was like taking my little notes and like kind of not paying too much attention. Then I got myself I caught myself laughing out loud at it. Like it would just catch me off guard. I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I feel like this episode was okay as far as the writing goes, but like I feel like this was more of an episode where they just wanted to do like impressive puppet things.
I mean, they didn't impress me with the puppet things. I'll have to say they didn't even show Robbie get like tied up later. He just it just a quick scene cut type thing.
They did act like they were moving the house though.
That's true. That's probably was a fun thing to do. I mean, I've seen the Titanic though. Like you just put anything in a little pool or a little bathtub, make it look like it's a real.
Yeah, it's called perspective.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's called rotoscoping, but it's not. I just like that word, so I just wanted to use it.
Rotoscoping.
Yeah, I googled DIY how to rotoscope easy, and then it turns out you can't. It's not easy. You have to do it hard.
Yeah, DIY is pretty hard, let me tell you.
It is. And speaking of pretty hard, guest voices for this episode, we got Michael McKean as the Parrish, or whoever is that the monster Parrish.
I don't know.
I like how the way these notes are. It's Michael
Are they
McKean
the
as
cops?
Parrish and Tom Sharp is Decker. They must be the cops, Parrish and Decker.
Yeah, I think so.
Decker, I hardly know what to say about the guest crew because we've never talked about the guest crew in these. I started using this different website for notes, and it mentions like things that we probably should have, like that they had Star Townshend, Jack Tate, David Greenaway, Tom Fisher, and Julianne Brick. I still can't do her name. Can we get her on the show to like hate on us for?
It's Monica.
I know, but I can't do her name.
Yeah.
Boucher. She's the rat too. She's Yolanda, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So those are our dinosaur performers. The additional help that they had to do the costumes and shit outside the regular. I believe that the monster was just Alan Troutman, who's the guy, one of the Fran guys, who also played like Maurice in that one episode, I believe.
Yeah, I think on the Beretta Brothers like the retrospective they did, there was one episode of it where they talked a lot about Monster Under the Bed. Like they made like a big deal about like, oh, you played the Monster Under the Bed and blah blah blah. Like I think someone, because it was all a video podcast, and some of the people had like the props and stuff behind them, and I think someone had the Monster Under the Bed puppet, but I'm not sure.
That's a weird. It's kind of a missed episode to make a big deal about, but
I know, but that's what I was saying. Like I feel like that's why the episode was just okay, but it was more of a puppet thing, like a puppet person.
They must have just been excited about it. It was probably like it's the last season, It's got a lot of wishy-washy emotions.
Sad, yeah. I was gonna say they were probably sad.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they filmed it all in '93, and then it didn't air till like '94.
Mm-hmm. And then then they followed it up with that Aliens in America show or whatever it was, the one where they're like, I don't even know what it was called, but it you can't find it. You can't find episodes of it anywhere. It looks really bad though.
I thought you were thinking of there was
Alf?
that other. Yeah, well, I mean, Alf is American, I think.
What makes you think that?
He eats cats.
That I mean that we would do that here. That's not a gross racist stereotype about anywhere else. That's an
No,
American thing.
I think you're. Never mind.
Speaking of never mind, this is starting with this episode. They have titles appearing on the screen. Like
That is
they took that from It's Always
weird.
Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, the gang fights the monster under the bed. Is that what-
Exactly, which Scooby Doo also borrowed.
the
So,
gang gets racist.
and Gang of Four borrowed it as well. But yeah, this is episode 401 of Dinosaurs. The gang gets racist. No, I think they had that one where the French birds were talking about Jerry, not Seinfeld, the other guy.
Jerry Lewis.
Jeffrey Lewis, the anti-folk musician.
Jerry Lewis, who exists in the dinosaur world, but he's
a Jerry Lewis.
He is funny, don't you get it?
They were I don't remember what show it was. My friend was telling me they were watching some show and they were making the jokes about French people loving Jerry Lewis. And I was just like, oh, it was Roseanne.
There's also a whole Weird Al song about him.
I mean, there's a whole Weird Al song about literally every subject matter. You just have to look. It's like They Might Be Giants. They Might Be Giants write a song about every time a country changes its name. Just so.
Yeah, every country.
Yeah, they're like old New York used to be New Persia or whatever. You know, that's not correct at all. It's something else, but whatever.
Yugoslavia used to be the Soviet Union. Yeah, it's pretty catchy.
I guess they do a lot of it in just that one song. They didn't have to separate it. But
Istanbul.
That's a good song. Apparently they did it on the Animaniacs.
They did. That's right.
That's what I've heard. But
in the same episode that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Every song.
So how do you feel? Do you get scared? Do you watch scary movies a lot?
Not a lot. I don't like a lot of them.
Because you're just not, you think the plot sucks or whatever.
They're just not that entertaining sometimes.
But you don't find them scary?
Not real. I mean, everyone has the jump scares and stuff like that, but I don't know.
Jump scares don't get me so much as just like lingering of like the imagery, I feel like, or the hauntingness of it, like will like stay with me for days.
When I was a kid, I remember the Blair Witch Project freaking me out.
It freaked me out too, and I felt like at the same time I was waiting for there to be like something really scary to happen in that one,
but
like,
nothing ever happened.
Yeah, and then like I just remember like being like, oh well, shit. Like I remember making up scarier things that happened in it when telling the story about the movie to other kids who weren't allowed to watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. I really liked the first the new but the first one.
I didn't watch. I'm not gonna watch either because I already know it's gonna be too much for me. The original was too much and it's silly looking.
Yeah, I never got into the original one, but the newer one, the first part was good. The second one, not so much.
We watched, that was like a horror movie we watched a lot when I was a kid, was the It miniseries. And I feel like it took me forever to understand that it was two separate parts for their kids and adults. Like in my head, like I thought it just switched back and forth a bunch or something. Like I just like I could never remember what the different, like I don't know what it was, but I just thought it was terrifying. And I didn't like that fucking Batman asshole. He was creepy.
What?
That's who oh no, it wasn't. Who was it? It was Tim Curry. You know, I got Batman. I know I got him confused with that other guy. Who? I don't want to say because now it sounds really dumb.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's just a Batman. We don't need to talk about it. I was thinking of Beetlejuice.
You're talking about Michael Keaton?
Yeah, I was thinking about Michael Keaton. I was in my head. I decided he must have been Pennywise.
You think Michael Keaton's scary?
Well, as Beetlejuice.
No, not really.
He kind of looks like Bruce Willis meets Jason Statham in these pictures of him I'm looking at. He's got kind of a, yeah, he's not that scary looking, but as Beetlejuice, he kind of looks like I don't know, like a meth head.
Yeah, Probably.
Yeah, just just a little bit. He wears
It's
it well.
showtime.
It was that. Is that like that was Jim Carrey?
That's Beetlejuice. That's
Oh,
what
I thought it was
Beetlejuice
Jim
would say.
Carrey. So Jim Carrey
No.
as Pennywise really scared me when I was a kid.
That would he would actually be a pretty good Pennywise.
I would
Honestly.
say that who did him this time? Who was the new Pennywise?
It was Skarsgård. I don't know the guy's name, but he's really fucking creepy. No, this is yeah.
Oh, he is creepy. Bill
Yeah, yeah.
Skarsgård.
Yeah, he's very creepy. Like it's creepier than Tim Curry's. Like Tim Curry's was just Tim Curry and makeup. This guy without makeup is scary. So
Yeah, you go and say it. He looks like the little lizard guy from Monsters Inc. He looks like come on, you know who he looks like. We can all just admit
Randall?
it.
You're talking about Randall?
He looks like Steve Buscemi, Tim.
Randy?
Let's just be honest with ourselves. He's just like a young hot Steve Buscemi. What's up, fellow teenagers?
Yeah,
That's interesting. But no, Tim Curry was a big part of horrifying me as a kid because he was scary as Pennywise, and I was terrified of the pollution in Fern Gully. Not in like Jason Segel going off to save the trees way, but more so like the literal that foggy, stinging, fucking creepy thing scared the shit out of me as a kid.
he's like the smog.
Yeah, that it was like those two, Tim Curry twice, and then the ugly Jessica Rabbit look-alike thing from which is like oh, I was afraid of a girl because she was a bit thirsty and not as attractive as the literal sex icon Jessica Rabbit.
That cartoon I wanted to fuck.
Yeah, the cartoon I didn't want to fuck is the other one that I was afraid of her for some reason. I would leave the room.
Just Lola Bunny.
I mean Lola Bunny. I would not leave the room. Well, I'd leave the room, but for a different reason. But yeah, so this is of course actually relevant because this episode starts off with the babies trying to get in on watching the horror movie that's on TV with Robbie and Earl.
Yeah, it's a 50-foot vegetable theater.
Yeah, so we have the doctor on screen. This part's fun, I guess. This is probably fun to act out with little puppets. I'm like, they had a fun time, these guys. But the doctor's like, they said I was mad, but I gave birth to a monster squash. and we have the distinction is his Igor or Igor, whatever, kind of corrects. He's like, well, you clearly are mad right now. Look at you. You're angry as fuck. So
yeah, but he's mad angry, not mad crazy.
Yeah, there's a difference sometimes. But you're usually a little bit of both.
Yeah, well, 50-foot vegetable theater is my new vegan podcast, actually.
Oh shit, that does sound scary. Was it just gonna be an anti-Duncan campaign?
I'm dunking on Duncan. That's what that would be.
Exactly. Duncan checks out. But so Fran refuses to let baby watch this, which is just like when my mom wouldn't let me watch I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, or whatever the fucking movie was called. And then
she wouldn't let you watch that, but they let you watch it.
Well, I mean, they didn't let me watch it. I just watched it with my cousins and stuff. And but I got caught because I used it as a way I was afraid to go to bed, and I was like, I watched that movie you said not to. But really, I kind of saw like 10 seconds of it from the stairway, and I was like hiding on the landing, and then I was like, oh shit, there's a hook, and I ran.
When I was little, my mom would she would say the Chucky quote to scare me when I was
which one?
It's like, I'll be your friend forever. Like that.
I thought it was gonna be like Tommy, help me.
No,
Chucky
Tommy.
Finster. Tommy. I can't do that. Wow, yours is scary. You should do that voice. If you're trying to scare somebody.
I don't have a mom.
If I was getting chased by a fucking doll with a knife, and it's like, I don't have a mom. I would cry.
Well, I hope a doll didn't have a mom. That's kind of scary.
That's so mean. That's the meanest thing you've ever said. But anyway, so Earl tries.
Chucky. Is it because Chucky is daddy? Is that what?
Yeah, Chucky is daddy AF. I mean, they try to in that Bride of Chucky when it's like a goth guy who gets turned into him, and like Jennifer Tilly gets turned into a fucking doll.
then they
Those are
have
some sexy
sex.
dolls.
They
Yeah,
have sex.
with a
They have
mirror
a
on the
baby.
ceiling and everything. They do have a baby. That's in the next one, the seed of Chucky. It's just like I think it's weird that they made him look like Chucky Finster.
Again, this is another thing where that Chucky was before the TV show.
Well, okay, then the other thing, I think it's even fucking weirder that Classy Kazupa made Chucky Finster look like the doll. I know they named him after Bukowski. Don't lie. You remember the episode of Rugrats when he like purchases a whore and gets drunk? It's Chuck Bukowski.
Yeah. He loves hot water music.
Yeah, that's it. Chucky Reagan. He loves Reagan. But Earl and Robbie, they try to argue with Fran to tell her when that it's a documentary that they're watching, so baby should watch it and get educated. You got to know about monster squashes, or else
Yeah, it's like
you'll grow up dumb.
It's like Cowspiracy. It's a vegan documentary.
Oh, is it?
When food goes bad. We
Ooh.
already did that.
We already did that one. Yeah. But baby gets sent to bed nonetheless to become a dummy while they grow up to be smart watching their documentaries. But he is absolutely convinced now that there is a monster under the bed, like a squash guy, I guess.
Mr. Squash, is that you?
Mr. Squash. I like
Better
that baby
out,
is so polite about it. He's a gentleman. He called him Mr. Squash.
Better come out or I'll bite you.
Yeah, and then I guess they thought this was a funny moment because they cued the theme at him shouting "Mama."
Oh, right into the theme. Yep. That cold open.
So
at least it was short.
Yeah, this is at this point they realize they don't know how to do anything interesting with the cold open, so they're just like, cue the theme whenever. Just next scene. Let's get it going.
Come on, we don't got time.
Yeah, they could have actually done it like they could have switched then to this next scene where Earl's doing his pre-spaghetti night stretches.
Yeah, he's trying to fuck.
Yeah, he's like in this scene, he's just like doing all these stretches. He's saying he doesn't want to get a cramp when it's at a crucial moment, which we've all been there.
Was this episode TV PG or TV MA? Like,
I think it was definitely like MA. I think this was on Skinamax.
Was this too racy for Disney Plus? How did this make it past the Disney Plus people?
Oh, they they don't watch these before they put them up. They can't.
Yeah, they must be like the Spotify people who didn't hear Joe Rogan say all those racial slurs before they put up his podcast.
I do not recall.
Probably the same people.
Probably Spotify, Disney. There's no difference.
No.
Come at us, Spotify. You can't
listen to this.
We got dozens of listeners. But so yeah, I don't know if you remembered Spaghetti Night, but that was like a whole like reference earlier in the show to like sex.
But that was like Wednesday night. This is Thursday.
Are you? But so here's the thing: did they have to reschedule it because Nothing Good was on TV Thursday night instead of Wednesday night now? Like maybe they were really against the NBC lineup.
Yeah, I don't think Friends had debuted yet.
Yeah, so once Friends comes back, they're probably gonna switch it back to Wednesdays.
Yeah, because it's probably on too late, and Earl like fucks like an animal machine. So
an animal machine. Now, is that a machine that creates animals, or is that a cyborg of between human or animal and monster robot? I got a lot of those words confused.
Yeah, it's like a centaur except it's a robot with the animal body.
Okay. I think I get what you're saying. So it's an abortion. It should not exist.
Nope.
I'm not saying abortion shouldn't exist. That is not what that sentence is supposed to be. Then how do we have the Tim's Great Abortion playlist on Spotify?
Oh yeah, check out my my abortion playlist.
The worst thing to plug. Wait, I don't know if that's not supposed to be anything either. But so while they're about to fuck and Earl's getting all excited about it, Baby interrupts them from down the hall, and Earl you know, he admits to his mistake in showing the baby the movie, and he's just like, I'm such a terrible dad. Please come over here and comfort me with that dussy. That's what he calls dinosaur pussy. Thanks for that laugh. I like that laugh.
No.
But he does play a dangerous game here with the who do you love more thing.
Yeah, you don't want to do that with your wife who's about to fuck.
Yeah, you don't ask somebody who they love more between you or their child, because they don't want to admit it. But that's probably you. They don't want to admit that though, because the kid will get upset.
Also, I like how when we originally were like introduced to spaghetti night or whatever, like their bed originally was more like a nest, and now
floor?
it's just a bed on the floor, like me 10 years ago or something.
So they're like they're moving on up, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they got a bed.
What did they not know how to? Were they not able to like reinforce an actual bed for this show?
Probably not, but also it probably was not fun getting up and down in that.
Yeah, I imagine that they just like probably shoot a lot of scenes where you don't get to see them stand back up at the end of it.
No, probably not. They probably had to. Someone probably had to help Bill get up.
Yeah, so he's gonna need some help getting it up after he's pulled over to Baby's room to deal with his monster, though.
Yeah, because Baby's yelling and screaming. So, but Fran goes in there first, and then they gotta get Earl in there because Baby won't stop.
He's relentless. The thing is, the real thing is here. I mean, like, it's scary being a baby and being in his own room. He's not even in there. Like, isn't he like young? He's in a crib. Like, at what age do they separate rooms? I don't even know.
He's in a crib and he just sits up the whole time, which I think is funny.
Yeah, that's just how he sleeps. He's like a cow. But yeah, he ends up like this becomes a big problem where he starts keeping them up all night, and it's like wreaking havoc on Earl's sleep schedule and Fran's sleep schedule. And they just like it pans to this like in the morning, like they're down there like eating breakfast, and well, they're not eating breakfast, they're just sitting at the table asleep when like Charlene and Robbie come through to go to school, and they like comment on how pathetic they look.
It's also 15 nights later, so it's been going on for over 2 weeks.
Well, that's I believe like the first part is like when you first see like Charlie and them go through, that's the first night, and they're like, this will be fine, we'll get used to this. And then we have the 15 nights later, and they're just like, all right, we're getting a motel. Not a fuck motel, a sleep motel.
But they're like just sitting at the dining room table, and Earl just has one of his toys, and he's just doing this while he's falling asleep, while Baby's like falling asleep and then wakes up immediately and is scared.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, like, it's traumatizing. He shouldn't have watched that movie. Like, it's like making a kid watch Dinosaurs as a baby. They're gonna be traumatized. Which is probably what happened to me. But yeah. I do love that when they're telling the kids that they're leaving to get the hotel, and like they expect the old rigmarole. Like Charlene's like, so the number's on the fridge, and Fran's just like, no.
Yeah, don't.
I hope you
don't
die.
Call us. Don't call us. We know we've left you home alone before, and everything's been fine, but no.
Yeah, you've been kidnapped by the food. There was a werewolf, I think, once. It's all good. It's all gravy.
But of course, Robbie and Charlene just think, oh yeah, baby, we're having a party with some frozen pizza.
Frozen pizza. Nobody comes over. They have no friends.
No.
What a party.
Well, they don't really have a chance to, because while they're getting the pizzas ready, Baby just starts yelling again.
Yeah, but so Charlene is first up for being fed to the monster, we learn, because she goes to like try to help Baby and like, you know, calm his fears about the monster. And you know, by trying to prove there's no monster under the bed, she gets pulled under the bed. So guess what? There's dinosaurs, there's also monsters. This isn't that surprising to me.
Yeah. And all the while, Robbie, he's getting the one of the pizzas out of the oven, and Baby's just screaming, Robbie! And he's just like, what? He's like, why don't you bother Charlene? He's like, ate her.
Yeah, which Robbie's just like, all right, well, he's probably tired from all that chewing. We're safe.
But eventually he goes upstairs with a monster sucker.
Mm,
Monster sucker, Ben.
a
What do
monster.
you think that is?
What? Wait, is this like a? Are you? Am I? I don't know. What is it? Am I setting you up, or am I just saying a vacuum?
It's a vacuum.
Okay, I thought you had like a good joke about like a blowjob monster,
Monster blowjob monster
like your mom,
BJ. No.
like your mom is what I was gonna say. No, it's just a vacuum, not to be confused with Tim's mother. And
No, my God.
so they pull
That
he
out of
pulls
the podcast.
yeah, he pulls baby's bed aside and discovers a tunnel to an underground layer. And I like this because Robbie's just like, she might not even be down there. Like he's just like, which is how I would approach the situation. I'd be like, there's no, we're like anything to make it so I don't have to go down this fucking like hole in the ground.
Did you think you were gonna see Mad Eye Moody down there, Ben?
Like in the chest at the end of Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, because I'm a real Harry
That's
Potter
what you
fan
thought
now.
of. You can only do one per episode.
I know that's it. That's all it was.
That's it. You're gonna do it there, like because
That's the
like
only thing I thought of. Yeah.
yeah, I
Is
guess
there a
that makes
different
sense.
one?
I thought that the monster kind of looks like Horace Slughorn from the sixth book, but I think you're right. It kind of looks more like a Mike Wazowski type monster though.
Yeah, he's from Leftover Crack.
Yes, yeah, the good, the bad, the leftover crack.
The good, the bad, and Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski. And yeah, I'm glad Stizza doesn't listen anymore. But
Not anymore. Yeah. He told us he wasn't gonna listen anymore.
he's like, you don't support women beaters, I'm out of here. But yeah, so while Robbie's suggesting Shirley might not be down there, he can hear her screaming for help, and he's just like, bummer. So now it's time for Robbie and Baby have to go in to try to save Charlene, even though Baby's kind of being a smart ass the whole time, like, oh, there is no monster though, Charlene. Like, Baby's an idiot, right? Which I expected a bit more diehard jokes. I thought they were gonna do like a whole like I feel like a TV dinner down here or whatever while going through the tunnels.
How do you think they like got down there?
I think there were stairs. I don't know. I might be thinking of Little Monsters again because there's like stairs in that movie.
There's no stairs when you look down that hole.
Maybe they fell and then they land in like a bunch of vines, and if you hold still, you can slide through them.
Oh my
Like
God.
in Harry Potter and the
Now
Sorcerer's.
you're doing.
Why did you
now
open
you're
the
doing
floodgates?
too many.
Why did you open the
You're
floodgates?
doing
You
too
opened the
many
Chamber of Secrets. You never underestimate a guy who's only read one book.
Hey, were you kidding? I never read any of the books.
So Robbie and Baby, they head down there. They see the weak chode looking monster guy that Robbie makes fun of.
He's a little chode.
Yeah, he's a little slug guy. And he doesn't look that scary, but like we don't get to see it because the puppetry like has its limits. But after Robbie goes in to try to fight him, he gets his ass whooped and he gets locked up too. And is says the whole never underestimate a guy with a low center of gravity and nothing to lose. I added that last part because I'm a better writer.
Yeah. Could we? Sorry, I really got to pee.
You really got to pee? Yeah. Here's a never underestimate a guy who really's got to pee. We'll be right back. Sinclarity is back with the reaction. Wow, I really had confidence saying I was going to bring this back in real good. But so we Robbie gets all locked up as we just said before the break, and the parents try calling home from the motel, I guess, and nobody's fucking answering because, like, I guess you know what? When you leave your little teens alone, they get kidnapped every time. It's what happens.
Yeah. So Fran realizes it, and so they come back, and Earl is all upset.
Yeah, because he didn't get to sleep, didn't get a spaghetti, nothing.
Nope. But they do notice that both pizzas are still on the table and no one ate them.
And
which
that's a bad sign.
Yeah, but then Earl is just like, good enough for me.
2 kids, 2 pizzas, whatever. I mean, that would have been, a better joke is if you're like, we lost 2 kids, we got 2 pizzas, and she can be like, we had 3 kids. He's like, where's the 3rd pizza?
It's just a little mini person.
Yeah, a little mini pizza for the baby, a little personal pizza for the baby cuddle lots it or whatever.
So So they called the cops.
Yeah, because they're fucking not comrades at all.
Yeah. And but in the meanwhile, we learn that
In the
the
between while.
the whole reason that the monster is salty is
Zoning
because
discrepancies.
yeah, they built so they basically they
They built a house on his house. Like
they built a
Exhibit got
house.
drunk or something.
Yeah, they fucking gentrified this man's house.
It's like a hat on a hat, but it's a house on a house.
Because yeah, Robbie's just like, or was it Charlie? Or just like, what do you mean? Like when they built this house, it was just like a mound of dirt, and he's just like, that was my house.
That's the facade. Don't they understand good architecture? But so yeah, it's all an argument about that. So now he thinks he's gonna eat them kids to like get back to them. And
Yeah, but he's also while he's preparing the food though, he has to like listen to them bicker amongst each other. It's like it's bad enough that I had to like listen to it above, but now I got a ringside seat.
yeah, he really pulled that shit on himself. Like that's even worse now. If he eats them, he's just gonna hear them forever in his conscience, because that's what happens when you eat people.
Yeah, like a serial killer or something.
Is that somebody who eats people or cereal?
John Malkovich. Is that movie's about?
Being John Malkovich? I look, I tell people I've seen it, but I have no idea what it's about.
you tell people just so you can sound cool.
No, it's so they don't talk about it, so they stop. It's I don't want to hear somebody like, you gotta watch Mulholland Drive, you gotta watch Children of Men, you gotta watch Vanilla Sky. That's not my impression of Zach George, but those would be movies that he'd tell me to watch. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Keystone Copycats.
Children of Men is a good movie though.
Yeah, but I don't got 3 hours. Okay, that's why I assume every movie that's good is 3 hours.
Every
long.
movie nowadays though is that long.
every movie's got a Zack Snyder cut. So I don't know. I've seen Being John Malkovich, but I would have to say that it's important to know that the police are well represented in the show, just like every other time that they're called onto the scene.
They're always incompetent, yes, and willing to shoot children.
Yes. So they show up and they're just like, when citizens take the law into their own hands, the police have very little to do.
I feel like Tim Doyle's communist friend must have just been there all the time.
That's what he calls the devil on his shoulder. That's actually a real person. It's just Tim.
Yeah.
He's just like, he's still like worried about the time when the Red Scare, like he doesn't want to get called down to the courthouse. So he just says, my communist friend here, instead of just talking about himself.
You and your communist friend.
Yeah, that's what ME330 song is about.
Oh no, I was talking about They Might Be Giants, but yeah.
Oh, you know what? I don't know why I just conflated that with the ME330 song, but yeah,
they cover it, or is it two different songs?
I think it just seems like a song that Dan Podhast would have written.
Because I was gonna say, because the They Might Be Giants version is like a ska reggae song, so it's kind of
no, I mean, like that's probably why I got confused, because it's definitely like a type of, Dan Podhast has the KKK Highway and stuff like that, other songs about social commentary on racism.
Yeah, the KKK Highway.
What's funny is the first thing I almost said was Adam and his package, because like these nerdy glasses wearing guys just write about racism and how they hate it. They hate the stuff. They don't like it.
Well, first of all, Ben, there's no jazz in Utah.
There's no jazz in heaven. Oh, that sounds like that's just a basketball joke.
No, well, no, it's just, never mind.
You never seen basketball with Trey Parker and Matt Stone?
I'm a ska fan. So
Real Big Fish, the Real Big Fish's feature film. Yeah, the movie starring Real Big Fish is what it should be called. But no, you and your racist friend, They Might Be Giants. I'll give them credit where credit is due. The guys from Breaking Bad or whatever, the kids version, Malcolm in the Middle. That's
exactly.
That's the spinoff,
it's the origin
right?
story. It's the origin story.
Yeah, it's that dad's or Joker origin story. That's all a prequel to Malcolm in the Middle. He just ends up being this hairy-backed roller skating dad by the end of it all. But speaking of hairy-backed, we got the police. they quickly determine that it's they got a code 317 on their hands. But
Oh hell yeah!
what
Oh
was
wait,
that?
that's
What is?
316. Never mind.
Oh no, yeah, you got messed up. I thought you were going to go for Mike Wazowski.
No,
What is the Monsters Inc. code?
I don't remember. I
It's
haven't
a
seen that
code
movie in a while.
2319, which is whenever an object from the human world enters Monstropolis. So is there like Monstropolis? Okay, but is there like a little podunk town, like Monstropol town?
Isn't that where they go to college? Was
They
that
probably
movie?
they probably go to college in like Bloomington, fucking hipsters.
I've never seen that one. So
I know nobody's seen it. It's like they sent a bunch of like
it's like
robots
Cars
to the
3.
computer. I didn't even know there was a Cars 3, but
I think
like
there
Cars
is
is
a Cars.
okay. Cars was okay.
Planes.
That was a Disney film, but John Lasseter did help create it, which I think is funny. So it wasn't Pixar, but John Lasseter still got his greasy hands on it.
Cars that fuck.
Yeah, cars that fuck. When cars go fuck. So the police do get distracted pretty quickly because there is a TV crew on deck, and they all get excited to be on TV.
Yeah, he the main guy, I don't know, when they find out they're gonna be on TV, he's like, hey, make sure my mom records this.
Yeah, which is more than we can say for the show Sam and Friends, who nobody recorded, unfortunately. I'm bitter about that still, even though we're done with the Jim Henson series.
Well, we do get a DNA. We get a message from your dad,
My dad.
Howard, and we get a monster under the bed day 1, which I think is a funny trope that they always do.
Yeah, they already started this one off with the day 1, even though it's only going to be lasting this one day.
But they're basically covering it.
They're solving it too, inadvertently, because I think it's funny, this trope of like Earl being excited about being on TV. Like he literally ran the network at one point. Like they've done it, like he's been on TV like 8 times.
Yeah, but we get live on the scene, plus Howard is covering it.
Yeah, and he does also say, well, if it only could be so simple as just calling the monster up and negotiating this.
Which they never thought of course.
Nope. They should have done a whole, like, should have had him like call him and be like, I shot a kid, like in Die Hard. This is ripe for Die Hard jokes, and they just missed them all.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
I caught the kid.
But as Howard keeps saying, like, everyone just wants violence, so they just want to kill the monster.
Yeah, which is it's great because they do the little negotiation. The police chief, who's just tries to immediately get in there and be like, "You ever drink hot chocolate with your daddy?"
He's like, "Oh yeah, I have."
You really saw through to the core of me. Like he mocks him for his bad attempts at trying to reach him as a person. And
dirtbag.
Yeah, he immediately explodes and gets aggravated and is ready to just storm the tunnel and just guns a blazing.
He's like, "You won't do it. You won't eat those kids."
Yeah, he's like, "I dare you. I fucking dare you, man. Pull the trigger." But then like Howard has this whole interaction with Baby as Baby like goes to suggest what they should do.
Oh no, I love this. This scene's hilarious because so they go to they call him, right? And they the phone rings and the monster answer is like, "Can you guys like wait a minute? I'm kind of in the middle of dinner." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And he like hands the phone to Robbie. He's just like, "Oh, it's for you." And then like it does the split screen and it has like the black and white photo of Robbie and it's like Robert Sinclair on the phone. and then it goes to Baby and Baby's just like it's just like another photo of Baby Sinclair and it says Baby Sinclair. And like Howard's just like, "You're now hearing the voice of Baby Sinclair." And then it goes to Earl and it just says concerned parent with him on the phone. And then it goes to the monster and it's his graduation photo.
They use like a good photo of him.
Yeah, he's in his cap and gown.
It must be white.
I thought that bit was amazing. That
is
bit
amazing.
That bit was really funny.
I'm glad you remember that so well because I did not jot it down for our notes.
Yeah,
I do
just really
believe
funny.
that Howard refers to the baby as a Muppet in this scene.
Mop it.
A Moppet. So what is
Yeah.
that? Is that just a Muppet?
With an O.
Is that just like mucking Fuppets from SNL? Is that like that kind of thing? Is this a John Belushi monster?
It's like how British people spell color with a U.
Hello, Moppet. Like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very odd choice of words.
Yeah.
Howard.
He's just like, is this little dumb Moppet gonna save the day? And it's like that's how he's interacting directly with Baby, who's trying to suggest something on the spot.
Yeah, well, during that whole bit, Baby's just like, "Why don't you just move the house?"
Yeah.
and then they cut to Howard, and he's like, "We're now here with our analyst, who I believe his last name was Lepan, which is, of course,
A reference to
Yeah.
Brian LePan.
is like the house moving expert or something like that." And he just has like a little house on a it's just like a stand with a house on it, and he just moves it over. And he's like, "Yeah, sounds about right."
It all checks out.
Yeah. So then they do, and then we get Howard's closing line as the
Yeah.
news ends.
The situation played out without any of the gunplay we have come to expect and pathetically need. And now stay tuned for a movie based loosely on the incident, but with much more exciting ending and nudity. That's a paraphrase, but I wanted to do his voice anyway.
I want to see that one.
Yeah, I just want to know who's naked.
It's probably Fran and Earl who are about to have sex.
From the waist down, at least. That's how it actually concludes in like in the movie that they make on TV.
That's why the house is moving.
Yeah. That's why, don't come a knocking if the house is relocating by several blocks. But so we get to our nice little sitcom conclusion. Earl is he concludes with the moral that the incident is that you should believe anything an infant tells you.
No matter what.
No matter what. And Fran's like, fuck you, you're dumb.
That's stupid. That's not the lesson that we learned.
Did we learn a lesson at all?
She's just like the audience. Like,
yeah.
We're just like, yeah, you didn't learn any lesson.
Yeah, it's like, as an audience, if we're trying to like take anything from this episode, it's don't build your house on somebody else's house.
Yeah, that's just, you just don't displace people.
Don't let babies watch horror movies. Especially don't let babies even know about vegetables. They shouldn't know about that stuff yet.
Yeah, definitely no squashes, no shiitake mushrooms, which is another one that he makes
glazed over because Robbie's watching that movie when the babies start yelling for him.
Yeah, though a giant shiitake mushroom would be pretty good.
It made me hungry. The squash did too. Like if you cook that shit good. Like I had some good zucchini recently, and
there's
I'm still
spaghetti squash.
Oh, is that like sex squash?
It could be. If
Where's
it's a
the
Thursday.
beef? Squash it. I get it. It all comes together.
Squash all beef.
We'll release. Stay tuned after this episode's in clarity for the alternate ending with much more violence and nudity. It's just that time I changed in front of the camera thinking I was off screen.
Oh, yeah, you everyone missed that. If they were on our OnlyFans, they would have seen that.
Yeah, our Fransly.com. Or if they were part of our Gatreon. Is that it? I don't know. I couldn't think of a pun that had to do with the dinosaur show. That
it's called OnlyFans. That's the only pun.
I wanted a third one.
No, you only need one.
What about Cretaceon? No,
you never need a third. Or just one.
That's true, unless you're Baptist. But yeah. So they denounce Earl's idea is ridiculous to listen to whatever babies say, even though he's like, all right, well, let's lend him an ear. Let's see what this baby has to say.
Also, they're in the process of moving the entire house the whole time.
They're still moving it during this part, or like
no, it's like after, because it cuts right to the house moving, and then Earl and Robbie come inside because they were helping, I guess.
Oh, they were helping. They were just like pointing, like back it up a bit, like they're doing like kind of that thing.
Yeah, I don't know. They do this like with their hands, like they
just lifted it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Earl can't even lift the fridge, as we learned in the episode with tristeroids.
Maybe Monica was out there because she's bigger than the house. So
Yeah, Monica should have done it. Monica is probably like this. Maybe the squash is on a date with Monica because Baby does announce that there's an enormous squash outside that's going to take down, that's terrorizing the neighborhood. And like
they don't believe him.
Earl immediately forgets his own moral that he learned. He's just like, ah, what a fucking idiot, fucking dumbass baby. Let's have another one. Get rid of this one. Fuck him.
Then we get a shot of the squash, and then you also see the house kind of move over in the dirt pile. So that was great.
So that was I mean, they gave the kid a shot. They gave Brian a shot. You know.
Yeah.
We trained him the best we could. You put your time in with a kid, you let him out there into the world, you see if he can fly or not, or if he falls and dies. And I'd say he's somewhere in the between. A life in which we all dream. And I mean, to be fair, he did also direct the first episode of the previous season too.
They always just like to dip his toe in there.
Yeah, they're trying to see if he's got any of his dad's magic juice. I stuttered and it sounded like I said juice.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little sus. Little sus.
You know what? Little sus is my rap name.
little sus X.
Little sus. No, I'm not gonna. Little Sussex. Little Essex. Isn't Essex like in England or something?
That's my British rapper. That's a British rapper.
When you leave during breakfast, it's called a Brexit. Isn't it, governor? But
Brexit jokes. We are not above Brexit jokes.
It is worthy of us, as Henson would say. But yeah, thanks for coming back with us, everybody, for first episode of Dinosaurs in like 8 weeks. Sorry that it wasn't a better episode of Dinosaurs. Not sorry that it wasn't a better episode of Singularity. Nothing we can do about that. We have limits.
Yeah, I mean, Spotify, they just tell us what to do,
Yeah, I mean, like they we every podcast on here, Spotify, they go over every single word and they like say yes to it. So I mean, that's all we can do, we probably when they get rid of Joe Rogan's podcast, you think we're gonna be the guys? They're gonna put us up there?
Are we gonna step up?
We're gonna be the number one on the Spotify. Or are we gonna have to? That's when we do our podcast about Lemonparty, probably.
I mean, if they truly don't listen to the back catalog, then yes, we'll be great. We'll be fine.
We're still in the back catalog era of our own podcast.
Like
we're the part where we're. Yeah, this is us cutting our teeth. So like, imagine in the future when we're both amazing at this.
This is an audition.
Yeah, this is like once our next podcast comes out, like we'll take this one off the internet and you have to find it somehow, and like kids will be like, you ever hear their early stuff? It's way more fucked up.
We'll be on it will only be on YouTube.
We'll only be on Pornhub at one point because of copyright issues.
We'll release it on cassette.
Yeah, you can get Kasingles of Singularity. But speaking of Kasingle,
secret Bandcamp.
Speaking of secret Bandcamp, you should check out Waterston on Bandcamp. You know they are.
Are they on Bandcamp?
Yeah, there's a pop punk band. They're on Spotify too. They have that Burnt Out Bright EP. That's our producer and main man, Daddy of the Year, Zach George.
Are they ever going to put out more music?
I mean, he's busy. He's raising
making babies.
He's raising Storm. I still didn't get a clarification on that baby's name.
That's what our next podcast is about.
Finding out Zach's baby's name.
Zach's baby's name. It's
only
one episode long. He just comes on and tells us.
Every time we talk, no, he would definitely play close to the vest if he knew there was a whole podcast about it.
He wanted at least 52 episodes.
Yeah, a whole year, just 1 year.
He's a very demanding producer.
I would say that every time we mention Zach on here, I always look at the time and see whether or not I think I can just drive over his house and bug him about anything. Because when we started this podcast, I lived like 800 miles from him, and now I live 8 miles from him. It's a little slightly further than that, maybe like 15, but it's still
about 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you hop on 75 south. No, already wrong. Hop on 75 north. Oh wait, he's closer than I was thinking. Actually, it's you only have to go like 6 miles up the highway, 8 miles maybe.
15. Yeah, he was only 15
tops.
minutes from our hotel room.
Yeah, We should dox him. We should just fully dox him.
I've been to his house. I know what it looks like.
Yeah, his son had to entertain your crew.
Yeah, they bought him Wendy's.
Wendy's nuts hit that. I was hoping I had a segue at the end of that for the next thing, but I didn't want to thank anybody by starting there. But
No.
check out Zach's podcast, Keystone Copycats, with Chris and Zach. When these nuts hit that, Chris, and it's just a couple of dads just up to no good, just writing, making a podcast about TV, movies, whatever. Fucking, I don't care. He's our producer, though.
I believe they finished their Freaky Friday season.
Oh shit! So did they give a spoiler about what's next?
I don't know. I haven't listened to that episode yet.
Maybe for the pee break for this episode, if listening to this, you would know if it happened or not. We'll have a quick little commercial for Keystone Copycats. I'll do it myself.
Sure.
But
hey,
yeah.
Have you ever seen Mulholland Drive?
Speaking of Mulholland Drive, drive yourself down to the local theater house to watch Cartoon Network on YouTube. Do they do that in theaters yet? Little Nickelodeon, no. Throw a nickel in. But I was explaining Cartoon Network to this kid who listens to a lot of 60s ska, and I was like, he's just trying to make ska. It's just like, it's a Jer here. Jer, they're just trying to make a ska cover of every song that's ever been made. And this guy was like, he should give up because that's a lot of songs. And I was like, it's fucked up.
There's a lot of songs I don't like because I don't listen to anything past 1977.
Yeah. But I say they're doing pretty good. If you look through Jer's list of songs on the YouTube, there's like a million of them. And then you could go to Jer's the Cartoon Network is on Spotify. They have like the Christmas album they did. They have Ska Goes Emo. You can listen to music that Jared plays in the band We Are the Union, where they do the trombone stuff. You know, it's not the first album. Who We Are. That's a different person. That's Matt.
Yeah, that's Matt.
Yeah, and then you get some guy from the Know How, which are like okay as a band, but like whatever.
From Florida.
Yeah, from Florida. Ooh, Florida. Where little known fact, the Everglades are also there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little fun fact I only know. I'm the first person to find out about that.
There's iguanas.
If you want to do an airboat tour through the Everglades. But speaking of the Everglades, also thanks to wait, did I say why we were thinking Cartoon Network? I don't think I did. They did our theme song.
Because they did our theme song.
Yeah, I was watching the episode earlier, and my partner Katie said I like the ska version better when we were watching the show.
Oh,
so Cartoon Network outdid whoever did the original theme. I never looked into it. Probably like Benny Goodman, some kind of like old jazz guy, big band guy.
We don't know. I don't know who did the original.
You know, hits the high C all night long. Was on the Colgate Comedy Hour. Plays the
high C
alto sax with a kink in it.
Love high C. It's delicious.
I forgot that was the drink, and I was just like, you really like high, like the concert C played at a higher octave. Interesting. Drink it right in. But
I'm more of a Sunny D guy myself.
Speaking of Sunny D, thank you to Amy Shenanigans for doing our logo. And I don't know what that has to do with Sunny D, but I did see the movie Juno once, and thanks to Stacey Stepanek for doing our t-shirt. I'm wearing it right now, as you can see if you're watching.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's a good shirt.
It is a pretty dope shirt. I've been just kind of giving it away lately. Like I've spent a lot of money on it, but that was in the past, so I don't remember it. So
yeah, you don't want to remember those things.
Yeah, so if you want a free t-shirt, just send me $15 on Venmo, and I'll
a free shirt.
Yeah, that's how free works. All included. It's one of those rackets.
You're really paying. You're paying for the experience.
You know, when you took your hat off just now, Tim, you kind of looked like that Democrat wrestler.
Who?
That guy with the beard that we were talking about.
Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, he kind of looked like Daniel Bryan a little bit.
No.
Text 556-432-1846 with Tim looks kind of like Daniel Bryan a little bit. If you think Tim looks kind of like Daniel Bryan a little bit. Text 911. I need help if you think otherwise.
Yeah, you're gonna text 911.
I've had to do it, and here's what I'll say: is the people who handle the text line in New Orleans a lot more tech savvy than the people who handle it in Cincinnati when you text an emergency.
You know, you can text Jet's Pizza your whole order, Ben. Did you know that?
Like if I'm in an emergency where somebody's gonna kill me.
Oh yeah, if you need a pizza right then and there.
I'm just like, oh man, I don't want somebody to overhear this call, so I'm gonna have to text it. Just pepperoni, 4-corner Detroit style.
Extra cheese. Yeah.
I mean, I do fuck with that 4-corner pizza shit. That's good. Speaking of that, Zach does make a pretty dope Detroit style deep dish. So hit him up.
I don't believe it because that's not good. That's not pizza.
You wouldn't. Yeah, that's because they can't. He has not found a way that the vegan cheese would blend in with the crust correctly. Once he figures that out, I think he would if the vegan was in it. If it's vegan cheese. You know what? We'll save this for your dumb podcast, for your dumb 50-foot vegan theater or whatever.
50-foot vegetable theater, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is every episode is like the name. It has a parody of a play that's popular. A Midsummer Squash's Dream or something.
Yeah.
What's
a car named Carrots.
Romeo and Juniper yet? Is Juniper a thing? I don't know.
That's a dog. That's Woody's dog.
Woody from Toy Story or Woody from our podcast?
His dog Juniper. That's her name.
Oh, that's not. I mean, okay. Well, thanks to Juniper for being the official dog of Sinclarity.
Oh,
we'll do an official dog of the week every week.
Official dog of the week?
That's our new thing.
Okay.
69 plus 2 episodes in.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week for 69 plus 3 episodes in. And what episode are we going to discuss then? Let's see how quickly you can figure it out since I did not include that this time.
Oh, I don't know. I can't think of the name of the episode.
It's the one about Earl being a hero.
Yeah. He's
because I accidentally watched it, so I do know what it is.
So isn't it called just like Earl Don't Be a Hero? I think that's what the episode is called.
Yeah, it's Earl. That's exactly what it is. Playing it coy over there. It's and it's directed by Mark Broll and it's written by Kaplan and LePan and some guy named the guy who they referenced earlier in this episode, LePan.
Yeah.
What is that face you're making in the Zoom? So speaking of that face, I gotta get out of here.
I like that face.
I like that face. We'll see you next week. I hope everybody enjoys their extinction. I don't know how it's global warming when it's so cold out here today. Goodbye.
Hey, goodbye.
Climate change is real.
Wizowski.